What the hell? Please, I'd love to know. I'd
No,
love to know
gonna
what
go. I'm
happened
gonna probably
with
go
these
this
guys. Like,
weekend down there and say,
what
what
happened,
the?
man? Again, why didn't the ATF was so hot and heavy to pick them up in the first place? Why didn't you just ask them to pick them up? But I know some gun stores. I don't want the ATF anywhere near my place. It's like, all right, I get that part. All right. Anyway, yeah, please, I'd love a follow up on that. So that is the end of our news stories. So now we're going to take your phone calls. And
And YouTube dumped my stream.
did they
Yeah, I don't know why.
dumped
Are you
it entirely?
streaming on the other ones?
Yeah, Rockfin is still going.
Uh-oh.
As you
Did you get a
mentioned,
notice? Look in your
free
email.
guns.
Yeah, we didn't. What? Just because we were talking about the gun story? No.
It just said it wasn't getting any data.
Well,
Oh, god damn it. Hard buffering. Fuck.
what?
The stream died. How? Why?
Any other streams or just that stream? All right, I can take phone calls while you're setting stuff up. It's no biggie.
We can talk to the people on the phones.
Yeah,
they're not being aired.
phone calls are still working.
11:11.
11:11.
Nah,
That's probably
11
why.
now.
All right. With that in mind, let us go to we'll pick up.
Rockfin is still going. It was just YouTube.
Well, Karen's doing.
Yeah,
her
Mark's
thing.
still recording anyways. You can.
Yeah, I'm still recording. We're fine. We're good. Don't worry. We'll pick up New Mexico first, then we'll probably go to Houston. 505 out in New Mexico because that's a real place. What's happening out there?
Mark, Karen, Brian, a lot of snow, that's for sure, tonight. But wow, this is probably the best Clown World headlines. Wow, this is the best show I can remember in a long time. And it would have been really cool if Karen would have taken that out. Yeah, that would have been a T-shirt right there.
Taking what out?
For that balloon.
The balloon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, there it is. I shot down the balloon. The balloon was shot down by Karen or balloon. Yeah,
Karen beat,
absolutely.
that would have been the best headline ever. Yep.
Damn right.
So one of the stories I saw before the show was another satellite, the Russian satellite story. And this was a really interesting story. I guess it goes, a mysterious Russian satellite, I guess, broke apart a month ago, creating a cloud of debris. And they gave specifics, 726 miles up. And it will take a century for our atmosphere to drag it down. It's called Cosmos 2499, colorful name. U.S. Space Force 18th Space Defense Squadron, which tracks human-made objects in orbit. They're the ones who I guess broke this story, or at least gave it to the media. And I guess this satellite was supposed to be, like, in 2014. It was made for peaceful purposes, but then it showed some trajectory changes that made our military suspicious of its true intentions. So that led them to believe that this was real technology to chase down and destroy other satellites. Wow, why did they have to put this story out right now? If it was from 2014, at least some of this stuff, but it kind of sounds.
What are we
like,
talking about? The Russia story? Was that the question?
This was a Russian. Yeah, the Russian satellite, which I can't resist.
Yeah, I mean,
Russian.
you got to remember that particular satellite story you're talking about. And by the way, I would question that altitude severely, which is at this point anything that's not on a balloon. I don't. And Peanut Gallery is sending me the link right now. When was this article?
Yeah, it's not true.
This article was from 6 hours ago. Oh yeah. Well, it's just because it's trendy. And by the way, that's a great distraction article, which is, no. There's real satellites. And this one was Russian and it was up there really, really far. And it's like, yeah, but this story's not going to get traction because
I would have to ask, why did it break apart suddenly?
Right.
In the vacuum of space.
Right.
Sure.
And now, do we get a gravity effect? Is Sandra Bullock up?
And it's a story. It's a feather in the cap of look who reported it, Brian. U.S.
Who's
Space
reporting?
Force. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So it basically gives
The job
it's a
is
fake- it's a fake
justified.
story that it gives Space Force something to do. Two, it reinforces the fact that Russia also has bad things up there. Even though, again, you could have very easily tried to say that this thing over Montana was Russian, but Russia would immediately deny it. Russia would be like, no, not a chance in hell. There's no way we would, one of our satellites would ever be caught dead there because we'd shoot it down ourselves.
There's no way a Russian satellite would break apart anyways.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go. So no, that's it. This is just one of those tack-on stories. And again, do not forget, the only reason the Chinese story was out there was to give people physical. Honestly, I treat it no different than Sputnik, even though I'm not old enough to be around when Sputnik was around. When the Sputnik story first came out, people were scared to death because everyone was just looking up in the sky. And I guarantee you, over those 11 states that this Chinese thing supposedly flew across, there were all sorts of people looking up. And this was a fantastic way because you knew somebody, there was at least like 1 degree or 2 degrees of separation. You knew somebody that was near or saw this satellite. So it made it real. So it's great. It's great little story. But thank you for the Russian one.
Even through the ISS in the story too, the good news was the space junk is unlikely to affect the ISS because the ISS is, even though it's going 17,000 miles per hour, it's only 250 miles up. So this is above it, so it won't affect it at least for 100 years. But,
whatever.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Do not forget the movie with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, Gravity, and the entire premise of that movie was that a satellite ran into another satellite, which cascaded effect, and all these satellites started careening around like pinballs and created this wall of flying jagged metal, which eventually took out the American space station.
And
the question that nobody asked was, how has this never happened? Because once it starts, it cannot be stopped. And you're telling me that no satellite has ever gone off course and crashed into another satellite. There is no rogue satellites out there slicing and dicing everything up. Statistically impossible.
Nope.
So there you
go. It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Just a great coincidence.
There you go. People out here die of that, by the way.
Yeah, the movie I thought of was Space. The movie I thought of was Space Cowboys with the the sinister Russian satellite. But yeah,
right.
It's got multiple movie plots in this story. Yeah.
Yep.
But,
anyway, anything else?
I'm having a great time. No, go ahead.
No. Anything else?
Sorry. No, that's it. I'll let you get to the other callers because I know you were running late there with the articles. Just shout out to Jan. Jan, call us up. We need to hear you. All right. Keep it flat, everybody. Shout out to Mark, Karen, and Brian, and keep it flat.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you too, Mark. See you.
Bye-bye. Let's go out to Houston. 281. What's happening out in Houston?
Man, I'm floating like a Oriental balloon, homie. Master Gunner, Sarge, karenbfe, what's the motherfucking dealio? What's going down?
Hey,
What it be like?
How are things down in Houston?
Oh, it's chill, man. It's warm. A little bit of rain, you know what I'm saying? We don't got no balloons floating over our airspace, man. That's some wild shit, man. You know, it's all the same. But yeah, cool, man. Fresh from this little bit, man, with my homies. I'm dressed up clean with these Gucci's, man. I'm cleaner than 2 hospital sheets. I'm sharper than a rat turd, homie.
Oof.
For real.
Nice.
But yeah.
Nice.
What it be? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I'm happy, dog. I'm happy to assist you with a bag full of dicks, y'all. Let me tell you why. My fiance soon to be wife, she's almost 2 months pregnant, and man, about to have me a boy or a girl, and I'm just excited, man. And, Man, I was at first I was scared. I was like, damn, I thought my sperm was laying on the beach for the past so many odd years. 'Cause I was diving in without a life jacket, trying to get this thing. Yeah, good news. So, just glad my shit ain't laying on the beach. Man. For real. I'm in the ocean like Michael Phelps. Whoosh, whoosh, swimming.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Any
But man,
any
my eyes are wide open.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you got?
No. I was just saying what do you have any shout outs or any quotes or anything?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I got the quotes coming. But yeah, man, my eyes are wide open like this Texas border, man. I don't know what's going on in the news with those Chinese balloon, but I know why they probably shot that balloon down with that old $100,000 missile. They said it was like the load that it was carrying was like about three the size of 3 school buses or something like that. So it was a big load. So it was, I guess that's maybe why they shot it down. But
Maybe.
I don't know about the way it was going. Ocean before they shot it.
Yeah. Well, it was a good story for a week anyway.
Yeah, for real. Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I ain't really have nothing else going on. You already know I'm in and out like the restaurant, man. I just saying what's up. I ain't heard from y'all in a while. I've been listening to you. And it's good to hear from y'all. Probably talk to y'all later on if I'm not too late. We'll give a few shout outs to everybody, to myself, of course. You can be the gunner. And y'all just keep it flat. Keep dropping the news, man. We need to do that all the time. Every week. Keep doing your thing. For real. And, I bounce with a few little funny quotes, and then I'll keep continuing listening to it.
Right on.
Here go a couple. Yes, sir. Here go a couple funny quotes. Here go one serious one. Money's not power. Convincing 7 billion people that money is power is power. And the rest of them are kind of a little old funny. Dude. All right. You're still fucking your baby father and you got him on child support. That's prostitution. Having a bunch of kids doesn't mean you have good pussy. It means you're fertile, you like it raw, and your food stamp balance is high.
Very cool.
And here go one. Why don't, this got to tell you this, why don't black kids shoot up schools? Because our parents would walk in that school and say our full government name and be like, bring your black girl ass here. You got me fucked up. You finna have me, you all over the news like I never raised your bitch ass. Put that motherfucking gun down, walk your ass out this door, and don't you ever think of some shit like that again. And oh yeah, since you feel like you're gonna shoot up some shit up, I'm finna shoot this motherfucking belt across. Oh boy.
All right, man.
One more.
Hey, don't be a stranger, okay?
Yes, sir, I won't be. One more, and I'm gonna let y'all ride.
Okay, go ahead.
It's funny how men. This chick on line said, it's funny how men want a red bone, big butt, no stomach, big boobs, but your mama fat, black, and bald. Learn to be humble like your father. So I had to respond to her, and I said, it's funny how women want a 6'3", extra muscular, big beard, long, fitted, foot-long, dick having dude, green eye tattoos, Ferrari driving that guy, but you grew up with no father. So learn to be a hoe like your mother. Mahalo, peace.
All right. All right, man. You have a good one.
Y'all take it easy. Yes, sir. Y'all
Bye-bye.
Yeah. What's up?
Later.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump out to, I don't know if I did Ohio. 937, you're on. What's happening? 937. You got to hit the mute button, man.
Hello.
Otherwise, you'll look like you're a rookie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's go to 816. 816. How about you? Do you have your mute button on?
I don't think so. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay. Hey, I have a question about last week's episode. A couple questions.
All right.
Sure.
have you guys seen the last day? I mean, not the last day. The sixth day with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Uh, uh. So the Mark Hamlin, I think he's a clone, and yeah. Have you guys done any research on clonate?
Cloning?
Yeah.
Clone
Oh, yeah, sure, a little bit.
AID. Yeah, there's a whole lot of cloning going on. Like, do you remember what you said last week about the doppelganger trying to kill the other doppelganger?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just calling to ask some questions about that, and
Sure.
I like to give us some shout outs to mom and dad, Nathan Thompson again, Ted Summer, Ted Summer, Austin Whitsitt, everyone in the Flat family.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's all. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. You have a good evening, okay?
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I don't buy the cloning
I don't buy the
On-
cloning either.
on him.
I will say.
It
Yeah,
takes too
I mean,
long to grow.
Yeah. There's been a number of cloning movies over the years, and it's limited. I mean, I'm gonna have to rewatch The Sixth Day because that was done 23 years ago.
I didn't see that movie. I don't even remember that movie.
Yeah,
It's a good movie, actually.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
pretty much ahead of its time too, because cloning
Yeah.
technology was supposedly prohibited back in 2000 at human cloning, and I'm sure
Still
it
is.
is. Yeah, I know, but in this case, he was going to
the
expose.
problem
I don't
with-
even believe they cloned that stupid sheep. I just don't believe it. I think
Well,
they
no,
want us
I
to
do.
think that. No.
I believe it. Because
Making a-
if you actually look at what cloning is, it's not what you think. They take an actual egg and then manipulate it to grow. That's it. It's not like they're taking your skin sample and growing you. They have to have a freaking egg.
Yeah, but that's not like what most people think it is.
No,
Well, I know
no,
that's
most
not what they
people
think it is.
Most people
But
think
that's
you can grow a doppelganger
That's what
very
I'm saying.
quickly,
Yeah,
and then
Yeah,
you know,
no.
you'd have to grow
That's
two
not-
at the same time, like a fraternal twin or a paternal twin or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, that's why I
Fraternal.
said it. The
Yeah.
idea of cloning celebrities, you'd have to know they were celebrities when they were born. And there could be, like princesses or princes.
I
or
mean, and
something
some of
like
them are born into families, like
that. Well, no, I'm saying, but the football
like
guy,
Hollywood
there's no way they
families.
clone somebody
Yeah,
for him.
I
No,
just
the-
don't buy the cloning thing.
if you want to look at a cloning movie, the closest thing I ever saw, we got to go to our final break here, which was The Island, which
Yes.
was The Island with Scarlett Johansson and Ewan McGregor, that basically said that really rich people would have their twins born, and it took years and years and years to grow them, and they kept them completely isolated from society. And then when they needed them, it's not that they brought them in whole, they'd use them for spare parts.
Yes.
And that was kind of awful. So you as whoever it was, if you needed a new liver or you needed a new this or that, you could have a completely compatible non-reject organ from these people. And they kept them on this, they called it The Island, but it was basically this facility. It actually is pretty slick setup the way they did it.
It was good.
So, and everyone was happy. That was the weird part. Everybody was Nobody.
Well, if you don't know any different,
Yeah.
Right.
if you don't know what you're missing,
Yeah, then you
Why
don't
would
know.
you
It's
be?
one day, all of a sudden, you win the lottery and you get to leave the island, and then you're never seen from again. And everyone was happy for you, and you left happy, and then you were taking an operating table, and then horrible things. Anyway, we're gonna go to our final break. It had a dark side to it, but it was a Michael Bay film, and Michael Bay films are never completely dark. But it was interesting. It was it was a big budget production, pretty cool, and all his favorites were in it. Right, a lot of actors he had used before and other things were in it. So, all right, final break. Karen, hit that music, won't you?
Alrighty then.
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer. Engage Delta 9. Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercept. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen B, and retired Master Gunner Brian Burton to talk about all things military. And there was a headline that came in on Fox News just a little while ago. And the quote was, I got to read it so that Brian can respond accordingly. The Pentagon has said it acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information from the spy platform, the Chinese spy platform. But geopolitical experts said there is little reason to believe those efforts were successful, as the balloon almost certainly transferred surveillance data over China to China as it flew over several military bases. Brian?
There are a lot of reasons to believe it was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to block an electronic signal that high up unless you're flying over it?
Right.
Which they weren't.
Right.
So, bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they could do that, I wouldn't have gotten hit by 22 IEDs in Iraq.
There you go.
22.
God.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Brian was a target.
I was prime target point. Yep.
Yeah, people do not understand that the tank, for whatever reason, even though it seems counterproductive, tanks are the number one target on a battlefield.
Because it's the most dangerous target.
Yes. So that's why, yeah, it's why you throw ordnance at it that shouldn't do anything most of the time, but you're going to try anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, lots of ricochets.
Oh.
Clang, clang, clang.
Stop it. But yeah, no, there's no way in hell they had anything. I mean, unless they were flying, you saw a freaking AWACS or something, not an AWACS, but you know what I'm saying, a plane flying near it the whole time to jam it. No.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Well, no, they're saying that that China got everything it wanted.
I'm sure they did. No, I'm just saying. I'm saying the Pentagon officials like we acted immediately to protect against bullshit. If you acted immediately, you'd have just freaking bowed and arrowed it down over in Alaska.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, again, I firmly, and just to restate this from the beginning of the show, I firmly believe that this was straight. I mean, it's not a completely novel movie plot, which is you convince. In fact, you could have done this with Hunt for Red October if you wanted to spin that plot a little bit, which is you steal a Russian sub, which is what they did in Hunt for Red October, which is not based on anything true. You steal a Russian sub, and then you can use that. You can attack with it, pretend to attack with it, and say, "Well, it was your sub." So, and say, "Well, we did lose a sub, so it probably was ours." And that's what I think happened here. I think they took a Chinese satellite, they took it went offline. Chinese didn't know where it was, and then all of a sudden, the American goes, "Oh, here it is! It's in Montana."
Yeah,
and the Chinese are like,
"That makes sense." Because
Chinese.
Do you remember seeing them say that I saw a video? This woman filmed something being falling out of the sky in Montana.
I saw that. I don't know what it fell out of the sky.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's what we were talking about this earlier. And then the state of Montana was like, "Oh no, nothing like that happened over here. Deny."
They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, would they or wouldn't they? I mean, how do you know they wouldn't know?
Who would?
Because the federal government, the military would not inform the state what they were doing.
Oh yeah. So if you ask the state is completely plausible deniability.
So then that's kind of why I stopped following that thing. So I'm like, oh, they already took it down, right? Which is what I would expected them to do. And then like I woke up the next morning and everybody's like, oh, the balloon's over Charlotte, and I'm like, what?
That explosion happened after the balloon passed Montana.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, maybe somebody was chasing the balloon and they got rid of them.
Either way, the ultimate goal, I think, was to confuse the Chinese administration just enough to where their control room panicked. And they said, oh, yeah, we did lose a balloon. We don't know where it is. And all of a sudden somebody says, oh, well, the Americans are reporting it over their country. And then the Chinese are like, oh, man, so sorry. It's totally not military. And that's all you needed to say. And now we could launch another one right now. We could have another one come in and
wait. There was one over Latin America too.
I know.
There's been like 3 or 4, I think.
Costa Rica, supposedly. And another one which got almost no airplay, which was flying some direction over Canada. I'm going, well, what province? Because if it was over Yukon or British Columbia, apparently the wind is going to carry it our way anyway. Again, we will see, but it doesn't matter. All I'm focusing on in the next couple of weeks is, are we going to use this to mess with Taiwan? Are we going to pull people into the strait and try to do something there? I don't know, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, come on. Well, anything goes. In 1 week's time, this is what happened. We were on the verge of having the entire country wiped out by a payload that was perfectly safe flying to Karen's house. So until she shot it down. That's right. That's totally the story, by the way. That's why it dropped altitude from 60,000 to 46,000 feet. You winged it.
And by the way, even though it was the size of 3 buses, it's a balloon. You don't have to shoot the object. You can shoot the balloon holding it up with a gun.
That's why I don't understand why they used a freaking missile. Like that's
right. Because it was cool.
Right? It was cool.
Cool, man.
It was
like
an
F-22. Well, why you
F-22? Yeah, politically, the pilot was like, "Can I use a missile? I never get to use the missile."
No. Politically, it's a great idea because you use the F-22, which is built. The parts for it come from a lot of different states, and then you use a Sidewinder, which everyone knows. So yeah, no, it's a win-win all the way around. Everybody gets pats on the back. Everyone at the Sidewinder factories and subcontractors will be like, "Yeah, USA." Casual Friday all week. All right. Anyway, moving on. We got some phone calls to take. We ended with, let's go back to, where are we going? 718. 718. What's happening out potentially in New York?
Aha. Mark, Karen, Peanut, etc. I think one of my favorite parts of your show is when you pretend to be listening and or understanding some of the callers that do call in. It's very hilarious. But anyway, Project Bluebeam, your thoughts?
Were you saying that I was pretending to understand because you had a terrible microphone from Houston? That was your?
Oh, come on.
That was
Sometimes some folks are clearly high and incoherent, just rambling and so forth, with the occasional good point, but some of it, it's difficult to understand. Let's be real about that. Also, I wait for Jan's audiobook to drop. I don't care what she records. She just needs to record something, sell it on Amazon, because I'll buy it immediately. Her voice is better than Ambien. Not that she's not engaging, but the minute I hear her, I will fall right asleep.
Yeah, Jan has a lovely Southern Texas drawl to her. She's great.
But can I just circle back and piggyback on one of the stories you said about unattractive people still wearing masks, even though, it's not really required? There's this guy that works in a drugstore that I frequent, and he has a set of teeth like a row of condemned houses, and I'm really bad. And when the mask mandate came into being, I was like, my internal dialogue was like, oh, this mask thing is really working out for you. So I think he's going to be one of those people that will continue to wear his mask for sure. But I did have a serious question about Project Bluebeam. You were kind of speculating what might be the thing that comes after the pandemic. The fake alien invasion, etc. And do you think that's on the card?
Oh, hey, I'm rooting for it. I'd love nothing more than to have some sort of fake, some sort of blue beam thing. I love it, but I just don't think it's the most practical right now. For me, my personal preference, yes. But I don't think it's as practical because people like the tangible stuff. They like military conflicts, whether they be in Europe or in the Pacific Rim. So that seems to be where it's headed. But if it all of a sudden spins and goes blue beam, I will be out on my rooftop with a megaphone. I'll be so happy.
You're sinister, Mark, I must say.
No. Shh. They're on to me.
Yes. By the way, I was the one that sent you the email last week about the bouncer who would always give me the hard time and never let me in because I wasn't vaccinated, and then he ended up dropping of a heart condition at 55.
Oh yeah, the bouncer. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So there's that, and also in 2021. I did manage to get myself a vaccine exemption from a doctor, not on religious grounds. I basically just bludgeoned him to death with words, and I guess he just wanted to get me out of the office, and I got an exemption letter. But you don't really need it now, but like back then I did need it for some legal things. So I'm just saying, like, if something else comes down the pike, if you get the right doctor and you say enough words, you can get an exemption.
Good.
And with that, I guess I'll go and shout out to Lowry, your outro song. That song gets better and better with each listen.
Aww.
And yeah, that's it. Good night to you all.
Good night.
Good night.
We will talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. That was good. I was wondering if the bouncer lady would show up. And yeah. Again, I wasn't rooting for the bouncer in that case, but again, karma's a bitch, and we've been seeing it a lot lately. A lot. And by the way, I'm not picking on our two major trolls, Professor Dave and Simon Dan, but I know they are both heavy pro-shot. And yeah, so
because they trust the science, Mark.
Yeah, they do. And so I'll be keeping an eye on both of you guys. Sorry, I'm a villain sometimes.
I wonder if they did get their
shots. If they got the real ones?
Yeah, if they got their coof juice.
Yeah, I do. Because the only ones that I think that have been exempt have been most pro ball players in the United States. I feel bad for the soccer people around the world. Or pro baseball, pro basketball, pro football, been mostly, I think, placebos. Tennis, depending on who you're talking to. But as far as our trolls, what do you think I'm rooting for? You have but from what I understand, that you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting a placebo on either one of the shots anyway, if you follow some of the European trends. However, that's 1 in 6 per shot. So if you just do the first 2 without the booster, then you're talking about rolling like a double 4, calling a double 4 and rolling it. And, on a dice. That's tough to do to get both placebos. You know what I mean? Because they're independent.
Plus, didn't Europe get like 4 or 5 boosters?
Oh yeah, well yeah, most of those people they're in trouble. Yeah, if you're you're doing 3, 4, and 5 shots, well, yeah. Wouldn't want to be you. Okay. She shouted out Alex. You know what? We're going to pick up Alex. So Alex, you got a shout out just before this. Apparently you have some fans out there. Don't know why.
I know. I don't understand. Look, check this out. You guys haven't addressed like the elephant in the room. If China is a spacefaring nation, what the fuck do they have things on balloons for?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was one of the first things that the UK media was talking about, which was why are we using balloons, which helps us. It's such a great thing. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, we've been talking about that for years, that you can get way bigger satellites on balloons that you ever could rockets. And now instantly people are like,
you're orbiting the space ball, like why a balloon? But like that's a dead giveaway. Like,
balloons
dead
work.
giveaway. It's tech hanging from balloons. Always has been.
Yeah.
Always.
And they the American media wouldn't touch it, but the British said that the Americans have been used balloons in the 90s, but they don't really use them anymore. It's like,
yeah, right. I addressed that because
it's so weird. It's like
in the 90s, real quick in the 90s, when I worked for a government contractor, we had to close the blinds in our windows because of the satellites going over us, the Russian Chinese satellites that would record our building. That's what they put out. Don't get me wrong.
Sure, why not?
And now they got to use a balloon.
Yeah. No, balloons are cost
it's just kind of like, well, if you landed on the moon, surely you have a satellite that can orbit the space ball. Why do you need a balloon? It's like kind of weird, right? You're like,
yeah. Good point. Why do you need a balloon at all? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, why are you doing that? It's like, if anything, you're like, funny. You're just kind of giving it away to all of us, which we already kind of figured out anyway. It's like tech hanging from balloons.
In fact, if you're the Americans, why don't you make fun of that narrative and say that, start poking at China and says, well, they're so old tech, they're using balloons. I didn't read any of those stories. They seem pretty natural. Oh yeah, it's a Chinese spy balloon. They're like, really? Wow, you're saying that like that's a thing. Yeah. So,
I know. It's just like, and then you just retrace all your steps and you're like, oh man, it's just always been balloons. It's always been balloons.
Always. Well,
it's just like, it's never like, come on, man, you're on the moon already and you have to go back to balloons. We're just, our budget's a little less this month. We're going to do a balloon lap this time. We're not going to do the satellite lap. We're just going to do a balloon lap. Even if it's not even that, even it's just complete bullshit. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, now when I bring them up, when I say, oh yeah, by the way, NASA's the largest consumer of helium in the world. Now people probably won't even blink when I say that. They're like, oh yeah, remember that balloon in, the Chinese thing? Well, there you go. I mean, if you can lift 8,000 pounds on a balloon, why would you use anything else? You wouldn't.
Yeah. Why shoot it on a rocket and like risk like all that tech blowing up on the tip of a rocket when you can just float it up there? And then you're like, wait a minute. That's stupid. That's so dumb.
No tech with a balloon. Just blow it up and let it go.
I know. Balloon's a lot safer. Balloon's a lot safer to float up there.
It is.
Yeah, we're just not going to go to the moon today. We're just going to float it. But next time we'll go to the moon.
Right.
That's 10 years down the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. That's all I had. Love you guys.
Yeah. Right. Is that it?
He's gone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, there.
He's one of the few people that actually hangs up before I can even hit the mute button. He's like gone. Can we pick up one more before? Yes, let's pick up. All right, Dennis, I am going to pick you up, but you only got 3 minutes, so you better talk fast, okay? Dennis, you heard that part, right?
Yeah. It sounded to me like you said I've only got 20 minutes, so
no, you got 3. What do you got?
Gotcha. Did you get my email? You got my email Friday, right?
I did, and I haven't gotten the book yet, but I am looking for it.
You must have a lot of business going on, because I said it was going to come in Sunday, and it did come in Sunday. And when the program started, he said, I got this great book, happens to be the same title as the one I was going to say I sent you. Well, but I don't know who sent it, but Dennis said he was going to be sending one. Happens to be the same title. I don't know when it'll get here. That was me, dude.
Oh, that was you. Oh, I'm sorry, Dennis.
That's all I got, man.
That's hilarious.
I did get it. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. It seems to be something you're interested in these days.
Oh well, I am very interested in that. That one will get passed around to a number of different people.
All right, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis.
You, Dennis. By the way, I didn't mean to insult. I got you, but I'd forgotten the title of the book, so thank you.
Yeah, you're like me. You got a lot going on right now.
I do. Before you go, where are you driving?
I-5 north in Oregon.
Wonderful. All right, man. Have a good one. Drive safe.
Will do. We'll see you.
All right, see ya. All right, 845, and we'll tie this one out. So, start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with Karen and Master Gunner.
New York, and fake balloons and saddaloons and all kinds of bullshit. Oh my god!
Yeah, we didn't use the term tonight. Saddaloons.
What a joke.
Which we absolutely coined.
What's that?
And come on, if it looks like a satellite and it's on a balloon, it's a freaking saddaloon. People talk about like it's just a balloon. It's like, no, it's a huge thing underneath the balloon. So
right. Well, wasn't it last year in Brazil or somewhere in South America where that one went down that had NASA written all over it and stuff?
Oh yeah, we've got wonderful videos of stuff that crash, including Google.
Yeah, it's all ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah.
Totally. It's just ridiculous. Like my friend saw it over Myrtle as it flew over. I mean, not for nothing, but isn't the whole point of Alaska and all their stuff the first line of defense? They missed the fucking balloon, and then they're going to tell us, no, our president's just too fucking stupid, and we'll let it float across the entire country.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think you got to figure too. If the president shot it down, he might not get his paycheck. I'm just saying.
Right.
Right. Well, his son won't get paid by the Russians.
You shut it. You shut this thing. You blow this thing out of the sky 300 miles above Anchorage, and people aren't going to care. It's not a story. It's a little blip on the radar. You have it fly across Nebraska. Oh no. We got a story at that point. I mean, you've got military people seriously out of every base walking up, just looking up with binoculars, going, "Dude, it's like why?"
Right.
You know, every military guy saying the same thing. It's like, why haven't they shot this thing down yet? So,
dude, every redneck in Oklahoma wanted to take a shot at it, right, Brian?
Oh hell! I wish he came over to Oklahoma.
Exactly.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Everybody was waiting for it. So yeah, it's
ridiculous.
a great story to paint China in a whole different light. And what Brian was mentioning to me earlier was like they could have done this with North Korea. They could have done this all sorts of different countries if they wanted to, or they could have diffused it and gone the other way. They totally could have said, "Oh, it was Canadian," and then no one would have cared. Everyone would have gone back to their freaking lattes. No one would have cared. But no, China.
Why? And why did the military recover it and give it to the FBI?
Right.
Why? Wouldn't the military be like, no, that's our fucking department, assholes?
Right.
It's not our department.
What's that?
It is not the military's department.
It came from a foreign country. It may have. Well, I don't know. I don't want to argue fucking jurisdiction.
No. What I mean is,
and that military intelligence wouldn't be the ones who take it and be like, no, fuck you.
No,
we want.
They
this.
wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Seriously, we don't have the investigative stuff. They don't. All military intelligence. All we did.
So they'd sell it. That's true. They probably would send it to the FBI labs anyway.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Trust me.
Well,
on
of course,
this one,
you're always right.
I won't say why I know, but trust me, the FBI and a couple other 3-letter are right linked with military intelligence, and that's what they use. They don't actually. We don't have.
You don't have
stuff
to
actually investigate. We don't need to. We have other government departments to do that.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get you. Even here, state police, they send their shit to the FBI to get inspected. They have their crime lab. Yeah, I get you. You're probably
that's all it is.
That 100%.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And that was another thing. How about one bullet to pop a balloon instead of $100,000 missile for a big show? What is that? What?
A big show?
Are they trying to hide shit? Right? Why?
Well, production value. Steven Spielberg would be the first one to tell you that. It's like bullets. Come on.
True.
I'm surprised they weren't firing more than one missile. I'm surprised they didn't send. I'm surprised they didn't send like the Blue Angels after them and do some airbag move around it before shooting it.
Right. Well, and I even heard that they were talking that apparently this happened 3 times during Trump's administration.
What? Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Pelosi wouldn't have impeached him 19 times.
Yeah. Again,
until I think it's just a distraction.
Until you drop it down to where the public can see it with binoculars, it never happened. It's not in the consciousness of people.
Right.
So this one worked. Right. It's a great story. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, my theory is that it's actually one of their satelloons that they use. It came down. They didn't get it in time. People saw it, and they had to go with this bullshit story. Because either way, it totally takes out the possibility that it could be a fake thing, and it's only about espionage. Just my theory.
Oh, no, that's not bad. But if it was
at that
me,
point they let it go across the whole fucking country. You telling me it wasn't safe to shoot it down in Montana? Were you afraid you're going to kill a deer if it fell on it?
Well, yeah.
It's
Well,
horseshit.
hell, not even Montana. Drop it in Alaska, and there's a better chance that you're going to hit a duck or something.
They saw that thing way before it got to
thousands of miles before it even got there. Right.
Yeah. It is. Again, we will see how this plays out, but as of yesterday, there were red team political guys that were saying we should ban TikTok because of this.
Oh God.
So
Right.
it's like, watch all the middle schoolers just lose their minds. That happened.
Oh,
what are we gonna do? I have an injection scheduled on Thursday.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna have my lips puffed
They're
up.
gonna ban me from TikTok.
What do you mean TikTok's not working? Anyway, Zulu, you got a quote because we got to wrap this thing up.
Yes. Can't we all just get along? By Rodney King.
Really, you're gonna Rodney King me at the end there?
Yeah.
All right.
And
yeah.
that's also a misquote, by the way. Just so you know.
Yeah. Well,
can't we all just get along?
You know how I fucking roll.
What do you mean misquote? I listened to the press conference live.
I know, so did I, but apparently you don't say that anymore.
Oh, you can't. You're not supposed to say that.
No. It's like a Mandela effect.
Is it?
It's a Mandela thingy.
Yeah.
So what did he say?
Wait, what did he say?
Well, he says, what did he say?
He stutters because he's absolutely nervous as hell. Can't we all just get along? I'm pretty sure that's it. And if it's Mandela effect, I'm going to freak out.
No, you gotta. It's
it
different.
is. Look it up.
Somebody
Watch,
type it in.
Pull up the video and watch it. You gotta.
Somebody type it in.
Let me see here.
Brian
before we go, we're not closing the show out until I know the answer to this question. Then we close the show out.
All right, let's find
What
it.
did Rodney King say at his press conference? In fact, you could probably just type that into Google and it'll correct you one way or the other. And we all just get along. And he kept repeating it. What?
Here we go. Wait, I found it.
Get along? Can we get one of the, can we all get along?
Can we all get along? He didn't say can we
There's
all
no
just
just?
get along. No, there's no just. That's what it is.
Can we all get along?
Can't we all just pull a bong?
He didn't say just. Well, that is Mandela effect because I could have sworn he said just.
I mean, I would have said the same thing because I that was a huge thing when I was in high school when all that shit went down.
All right.
You know what it could be though, for the record, I don't know, I have to do some research.
What?
If I felt like it. But he said that so many times on so many shows, he might have added just at another show.
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know.
I thought he said it while they were beating him. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
That, we will be back next week. Same flat.
4 clubs beats a king.
Same flat time. Same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
Say goodnight, Master Gunner.
Aim high. That's where the balloons are.
And Peanut blows a breath of smoke, and Karen rolls the final music. And we just get along. Hot sex. Good night, everybody.
Hot
sex.
Recording stopped.
Yeah, sorry about the technical issues to everybody watching on YouTube. So my YouTube stream's broken up into two links right now. So I'll try to remember to upload it all up into one link tomorrow.
You're a terrible person.
I know. It's YouTube sucks.
They're going to heck.
Wow.
That's so funny. All right. Thanks, everybody. Hasta luego. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Strange World. Thank you to... who did I get a thing for? I got a tip on Cash App. Let me just say thank you to that person. Robert Owens, cheers. Thank you for the tip. And thank you all for being here. And I'll be back Saturday for anti-religious scripture study and also Monday, Moon Day, for coffee talk, and maybe somewhere in between if we're lucky. All right, you guys. See y'all later.